Welcome to Storytime with Sonia Panda.
Peppa Pig stamps. Grandpa Pig is showing Peppa and George his stamp collection. I think you must have every stamp ever, says Peppa. So there is no need to buy any more, is there? Grandpa Pig, says Granny Pig, chuckling. Grandpa Pig does not answer. Mr. Zebra, the postman, arrives at Granny and Grandpa Pig's door. He is delivering the post to their house. It's the post, cries Peppa. Ah, it's a postcard from my friend, says Granny Pig. I have never had a postcard, says Peppa sadly. That's easy to fix, says Granny Pig. Come with me. Let's write one now. We can post it to you and George, says Granny Pig. Yes, please, Granny, cries Peppa. Together they write a message on the postcard. Then they add Peppa and George's address. There is something missing, says Granny Pig. It needs a stamp, too. Grandpa has stamps, cries Peppa. My stamps are not for licking and sticking on the postcards, gasps Grandpa Pig. I think we will find some normal stamps upstairs, says Granny Pig. Granny Pig, Peppa and George go upstairs. Granny Pig opens up the desk drawers to look for stamps. Peppa checks inside. No stamps here, Granny, says Peppa. Oh dear, we will have to have another look downstairs, says Granny Pig. Look, Granny, a stamp for our postcard, says Peppa, finding a stamp on the table. I knew we could find a stamp somewhere, says Granny Pig. Hee hee. George, would you like to lick it? George licks the stamp and sticks it on the postcard. Now it's time to post your postcard, says Granny Pig. Hee hee. Granny Pig, Peppa and George walk to the red post box. Send it off, George, says Granny Pig. Peppa helps George post the postcard. Hee hee, says George. Did anyone see a stamp on the kitchen table? Asked Grandpa Pig, arriving at the post box. Yes, Grandpa, we stuck it on our postcard, says Peppa. Mr. Zebra has already collected the post. Grandpa Pig chases after him. Come back, my stamp, shouts Grandpa Pig. The stamp is not lost. The postcard is going to Peppa and George's house, says Granny Pig. Grandpa Pig races there just in time to meet Mr. Zebra. Mr. Zebra jumps out of his van to deliver Peppa and George's post. Our postcard! Yuppie! Cheers, Peppa. The postcard has Grandpa Pig's collectible stamp on it. Would you like to keep it, Grandpa? Asked Peppa. Thank you, Peppa, says Grandpa Pig. This stamp was important before, but it's even more precious now that it's been posted to you. Ha ha! Hee hee! Peppa Pig and the library visit. It is bedtime for Peppa and George. Could we have a story, please? Asks Peppa. Peppa goes to the bookshelf. There is a book about a blue tiger. Okay, says Mommy Pig. Here is the one about the red monkey. We always read that one, says Peppa. The red monkey takes a bath, brushes his teeth, and goes to sleep. Let's choose another book instead. A book about a green spider. A book about an orange penguin. And oh, says Peppa, what is this one? The Wonderful World of Concrete, reads Mommy Pig. I have been looking for that, says Daddy Pig. It is a book I borrowed from the library. What is a library? Asked Peppa. A library is a place you can go to borrow books. When you have finished reading them, you take them back so others can borrow them, says Daddy Pig. He looks at the book. I have had this for a rather long time, Daddy Pig says. You can return it tomorrow, says Mommy Pig. But right now it is bedtime. After Daddy reads the story, Peppa insists. Daddy Pig begins to read The Wonderful World of Concrete. Concrete is made of sand, water, and other things. Chapter 1 Sand. Sounds of snoring fill the room. Peppa and George are fast asleep. So is Mommy Pig. The next morning, Peppa and her family head to the library. Peppa can't believe how many books are on the shelves. Look at them all, she shouts. Shh, Peppa, says Daddy Pig. You must be quiet in the library because people come here to read and to be quiet. Next, please, comes another shout. It's Miss Rabbit, the librarian. Hello, Mommy Pig, she says. Are you returning these books? Yes, Miss Rabbit. Mommy Pig gives her books to Miss Rabbit to scan, and the computer beeps as the books slide across the counter. Why is the computer beeping? Asked Peppa. It is checking to see that you have not been naughty and kept the book for too long. I may have kept this book for a bit too long, says Daddy Pig. Don't worry, says Miss Rabbit. Then her computer makes a loud, long beep. Daddy Pig, she shouts. You had this book out for 10 years. Naughty Daddy, says Peppa. Now that Daddy Pig's book is returned, he can borrow another one. Peppa and George want to borrow books too. Miss Rabbit shows Peppa and George to the children's section. Oh, says Peppa, there are books about princesses and animals and planets. Danny Dog and Susie Sheep are at the library too. Danny Dog is borrowing a book about soccer. Susie Sheep is borrowing one about doctors. George has chosen his book. It is about dinosaurs. Dinosaur, says George. Grrr. Daddy Pig has found an exciting new book. Further Adventures in the World of Concrete. But Daddy Pig, says Peppa, I want a fun bedtime book. Yippee, says Peppa. You just have to remember to bring them back on time, says Miss Rabbit. And that goes for you too, Daddy Pig. Peppa laughs. I will make sure he remembers. I want to come back to the library all the time. I love the library. Back at home, it is bedtime. Mommy Pig opens the new Red Monkey book. Once upon a time, there was a red monkey. He jumped in a space rocket and went to the moon. The moon, says Peppa. What an adventure! Mommy Pig turns the page. He had a picnic with a dinosaur. Dinosaur, says George. Then the red monkey swam under the sea. Mommy Pig turns the last page. Finally, he climbed the highest mountain. That was a busy day. I think Daddy Pig agrees, says Peppa. Everyone looks. Daddy Pig is fast asleep. The end, whispers Mommy Pig. Sounds of Daddy Pig's snores fill the room. Everyone laughs. What a fun day! The end.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this story. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to Storytime with Sonia Panda to listen to more stories with me. Take care, friends.